KYmedia.net is proud to support Chamber Chats and support small business.
The Richmond Chamber of Commerce says, we're open for business.
Welcome to this edition of Chamber Chats with your host, Mendi Goble.
Welcome to another edition of the Chamber Chat Show. We're super glad to have you with us today, and we just want to welcome everybody and to introduce you to Jenny Mateyoke. She is with Keller Williams, the Mateyoke Group, and she's going to talk to us about her business today, and then we're just going to have some other questions that we've been chatting back and forth about.
Right.
But tell us about your business, Jenny.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here. I've been in real estate since 2004, so finishing up my 17th year. It's really hard for me to believe that. So been through the ups and the downs, and been through 2007, 8, 9, all those fun times. I ended up growing a team. When I had my son, I found out I can't work this many hours and be a good mom. So I brought on a buyer's agent. And from there, I've just grown. Brought on a marketing director full-time, a director of operations, other realtors that work with me, as well as a full-time transaction coordinator. So kind of a full-service team of right now ladies that are just killing it. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And killing it, let's talk about that, because this market is insane right now.
It really is.
Talk to us about that. Is it going to come to an end anytime soon?
That's what we all keep asking. I had dinner yesterday with a friend that's also a realtor, and her husband who's an appraiser, and they're like, when is this going to stop? You know, what point can the market continue to go at this pace? You know, we were fortunate through the pandemic to remain essential. So last year, honestly, was the best year I've ever had in real estate.
Wow.
And you know, that's saying a lot. It was. We learned to do business differently.
Sure.
You know, lots of virtual tours, virtual open houses, lots of stuff online, lots of phone calls, Zoom. Oh,
yeah.
Who's tired of hearing Zoom?
We all are.
Yeah. So it is interesting though how much time it saves you.
There's no doubt. I mean, we're sick of it now, but in the beginning, it was a lifesaver.
It was. And even now in a pinch, it's super helpful where you can quickly say, hey, can we just hop on a Zoom really fast because everybody's schedules are so busy. But as realtors, we did remain an essential part of the economy. And so I think, again, the best year ever. Now this year, I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
I mean, multiple offers on just about everything. The inventory is super low. It's almost to the point. Well, every offer almost is a multiple offer.
Right.
As I told you before we got started here, we had a client make an offer yesterday, and she made it $30,000 over list price and still didn't get it.
That's insane.
Somebody else beat her out.
That is insane.
And you know, I think people are pleasantly surprised at what their homes are worth.
Right.
The problem is, where are they going to go when they sell it?
That's it.
And so we're telling sellers, you're in the driver's seat, and so you can negotiate terms that allow you to lease back your property.
If you need to,
there are options.
Right.
You just have to work with the buyers to get those in place for you. Because again, the seller's in the driver's seat. So it's a tough time to be a buyer, although the good thing for buyers, the interest rates are so low.
Yes.
So, you know, pre-pandemic, we were about 4.5%, and we're still hovering in the, upper 2s, low 3s, and that buys a whole lot more house. So even though the prices have gone up, that extra buying power, allows somebody to still, get into a home in an affordable price. So.
Yes, before we moved, we used to get cards in the mail and asking us if we'd like to sell our house and I'm like, I can only imagine how that has amped up. Oh. People just saying, do you want to sell your house, or just stopping by your house and leaving a card or something?
There are agents that are door knocking and asking for that. We sent out 1,200 handwritten envelopes with that little letter inside that said,
wow,
would you sell your house to a client of mine? We had probably 20 responses. So we're hoping
That's
to connect
pretty
some.
good.
We're hoping to connect some buyers and sellers because again, you have to get super creative because
Yeah.
there's no inventory.
So, I mean, I know you can only guess at this, but do you think it's going to last much longer?
Well, I haven't seen the inventory loosen up much, so that's talking to a lot of realtors and a lot of photographers and a lot of appraisers. I mean, everybody's saying the same thing. I have a ton of buyers. I don't have any listings. I'm used to carrying active probably 20 to 25 listings at a time. I have one.
Wow.
So it's a challenge, and as soon as it hits, it's
gone. Yeah, I've been looking, and so I'm amazed that I can see it come online because I get a notification that morning, and that afternoon it's pending, and I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
We had an agent on our team that showed a property the other day, got in the car, called the realtor, the listing agent, to say, hey, I'm going back to write an offer, and he said, oh, sorry, we just sold it.
What?
Yeah, it didn't even. And so, it's unfortunate that those things are happening because buyers get frustrated and they make multiple offer after offer and don't win. And there's a lot of cash in the market.
Right.
I've been surprised at how many people have cash.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a challenge. It's to me, this is way worse than 2007 and 8 and 9.
Yeah, different days for sure.
Yep.
It's not a matter of you can't sell it. It's a matter of having enough to sell right now.
Right. And so they're anticipating that interest rates will creep up, and that may
Change
slow
some
some
things.
things down or make it a little bit maybe more affordable for buyers as far as the prices coming down.
Right.
The other side of things is new construction. New construction is at an all-time high as well because of the lumber. We bid a project back in October, November, and the lumber package was $67,000. Today it is $93,000.
Wow.
Yes. And so wire went up from $35 a thousand feet to $138 a thousand feet, and they will only guarantee the price for 24 hours. Where in the past they would guarantee it for 6 months.
That's insane.
Windows, 19-week lead time.
Oh my gosh. So what do you think that's from? I mean, why lumber prices so high? Is it there's not enough?
Well, I think that goes back to whether it was the rush on all these home projects that, the lumber, everybody stayed home and did in-house projects. But there's a lot of issues with stuff, just the supply chain itself. A friend of mine that has a friend that lives out in LA, looks out at sea there and sees the port, all the ships that are just literally sitting there
waiting
for months at a time, waiting to offload their cargo. And so it's just this vicious thing. And what we're hearing from industry leaders in the lumber industry is that this is probably the new norm. That lumber prices here have finally caught up with where they are everywhere else.
Got it.
So it'll be interesting to see if that really
how that shakes out.
That comes down at all. Yep. So it's a challenging time, but it's still fun.
Absolutely. It's
especially
just different,
when you can connect that buyer and that seller, and maybe you're doing some creative things because it's like we said, sending out 1,200 letters, door knocking.
I mean, that's something
people
you haven't
are like,
done before.
Well, let me name my price, and I'm like, go ahead.
Okay.
So
have at it.
Yep. There's a cute little subdivision here that 2 years ago they were selling for 180. Then they went up by the end of last year to about 200, and now they're 215 all day long in 3 months' time.
Wow.
So
that's nuts.
Yeah, if you have to move and you're going maybe somewhere else, maybe the market's not as tight, but I don't know. I think it's that way.
I think it's everywhere. Yeah.
So it's a great time to be a
Unless
seller.
you want to move to California, it seems like they're having a mass exodus. So maybe we could.
They're all coming here.
Exactly.
Yeah. And we do hear a lot of that. A lot of transfers in. So
absolutely. Well, it was great having a conversation with you,
Thank
it's
you.
very interesting and kind of fun to talk about. And so we'll be seeing you at the golf tournament, and so we thank you for doing that. Thanks for being a member of the chamber. And,
absolutely.
We just look forward to doing more with you in the future.
Absolutely. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us for another chamber chat, and we'll be seeing you the next time.
KYmedia.net is proud to support Chamber Chats and support small business.
The Richmond Chamber of Commerce says, We're open for business.